Some key details from the book that inspired the Last Kingdom series are missing from the series. Here's what the show left out. The Last Kingdom is a popular period drama based on Bernard Cornwell's book series The Saxon Stories. The show was purchased by Netflix in 2018 after its first 2 seasons aired on BBC. The Last Kingdom tells the story of Uhtred, a Northumbrian lord during the 9th century Viking invasions of Britain. The books and television show depict this Saxon boy's childhood among the Danes, where he became one of them, worshipped their gods, and learned their ways. Naturally, a television show cannot capture all of the elements of a book, which is a problem inherent in adapting books to the visual medium. Several elements in the Saxon Stories books are missing from the series. Who created serpent breath? In The Last Kingdom, an unknown blacksmith in a Saxon village crafts Uhtred's legendary sword, Serpent Breath. Ealdwulf the smith lovingly crafted it in Cornwell's book. Ealdwulf played a significant role in Uhtred's early life, but he was absent from the series, as was much of Uhtred's early life. Ealdwulf was a blacksmith in Bebbanburg and a secret Saxon pagan in a Christian land. The smith taught Uhtred about the old gods Thor and Woden, as well as how Uhtred's ancestors were descended from Woden. Ealdwulf was Uhtred's first follower, abandoning Uhtred's uncle Elfric after he usurped the lordship of Bebbanburg and sending a man to kill Uhtred. Run of Ragnar's oar. The audience and Uhtred first see Ragnar the Elder sailing in his longship on the seas outside Bebbanburg in the show. This is also true in the book, though the reader is unaware of it. However, the books contain an exciting scene that the show's producers may have found too difficult to replicate. Ragnar runs down the outstretched oars of his Viking longship, and with every inhabitant of the fortress wishing him to fall into the sea, turns once he reaches the end of the bank of oars, and repeats the incredible feat. This scene really establishes the Danes and Ragnar's bravery and joy of life, which the show doesn't really capture. The first meeting between Uhtred and Alfred. When Alfred and Uhtred first meet properly, during peace talks between the Danes and West Saxons, Alfred asks the young Uhtred if he is a good Christian, to which Uhtred mischievously responds with the exact words Beocca spoke to Alfred a few days earlier, fooling both of them into thinking Uhtred is a saintly child. They have no idea that he has already happily abandoned Christianity in favor of Thor and Odin worship. Aethelred and Uhtred. One aspect of Uhtred's life that the show does not depict is that in the books, Uhtred and Aethelred are cousins. Breda and Uhtred flee to Mercia, not Wessex, after Ragnar the Elder's murder, taking refuge in the home of his uncle, Aethelred the Elder. In the show, Aethelred earns Uhtred's wrath for how he treats Aethelflaed, but the animosity between the two begins much earlier in the books, when Aethelred tries to have his way with Breda and is met with a swift knee to the groin from Breda. The first shield wall of Uhtred. Uhtred encounters his first shield wall while staying at his uncle's estate. Mercia, which borders Wales, has been plagued by Welsh cattle raids, and Aethelred the Elder dispatches Uhtred, along with the leader of his household warriors, Tatwine, to deal with a group of raiders. Uhtred shattered the Welsh shield wall, reveling in the sword joy that would inspire him to follow the warrior's path for the rest of his life. This scene in the book really establishes Uhtred's life path and joy of war, which the show does not really capture, epitomized by Tatwine's praise of the young warrior, "You're a savage one, you are. This is your first shield wall, but not your last, I think." Uhtred's navy. Before killing Ubba Lothbrokson at Sinuit and gaining the warrior's renown, Uhtred was a nobody. He was a pawn on Alfred's chessboard, a Northumbrian lord in exile whom he could install when he was closer to realizing his dream of a united England. Alfred dispatches him to Hampton to keep Uhtred's pagan self busy and out of his way until he is needed to serve on one of Alfred's 12 ships. Here he meets Leofric for the first time and receives warrior training, as well as many a beating, from the hulking West Saxon.